Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is March the 27th, 2026. Hopefully this episode finds you well, in good spirits and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Friday to ya. Hopefully this episode finds you in a good place, in a good space on a Friday. And if you're not listening to this on a Friday, then hopefully things feel very Friday for you. But yes, for me, it's been good. It's been solid. Sorry, I missed today. We'll get into it real quick, but yeah, no. Let's just actually let's do the catch up. Let's talk. So Thursday went well. It was a good day. It was a solid day. We got up, got ourselves together, got to work. It wasn't too busy. It wasn't too light. It was a very good, solid, steady day. After work, I was a bit impulsive. I did something a bit different, detour, if you will, and I went to see, how do you say, my special friend, the lady. I don't know. I got to work on a code name or something. I don't know, but it was a nice night. It was a nice impromptu, impulsive night, and we got to hang out and watch Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and we decided on like, ooh, what do we want to eat? And we were both feeling like very, I guess, debaucherous. I don't know. We were really feeling ourselves. And we went to this pizza place called Raymundo's, which I'd never been to. And I was very impressed. We got a few things. I got to sample the menu, if you will. We got the Hawaiian pizza, which had, I believe, like Canadian bacon, might have been ham, also bacon. Had hot honey situation on it too, so that was good. That was yummy. And some pineapple. I gotta say, it hit the spot. It was nice. I love when like a pizza hits in a way that's like almost overstimulating, but oh so yummy. I mean, as reference from all the chameleon slices that I've been eating. But no, that was yummy. That was good. Also, we got a Caesar salad. That was good. That was a good, nice, robust salad situation. Then they had a thing that was called Raymundo Bites, which was essentially like, I don't know if you've ever had like a rondo from La Rosa's or like a garlic knot. It's one of those, but it was filled with meat. So really in presentation, it almost hits like a skinny calzone. That's really what it kind of looked like, but definitely had some flavor. It came with some what was it? Some marinara sauce. Yeah. So I mean, all of that was good. It was yummy. I was nice and full. Watched some Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I once again, in the spirit of being impulsive, I was like, I think I'm gonna play hooky tomorrow. So I stayed over, and the next day I just called off. So that leads us to today, this nice, wonderful Friday that we're having. It was rainy at the top part of the day, but I came home and I got some more sleep, so I got to rest, which was good. We love to see that. We love that. And then I got myself up, got myself together, and I went to the gym, which was nice because I didn't go to the gym yesterday. That was another thing I skipped. I'm skipping everything. I'm taking days off from all my shit. I don't know. I'm moving different. But no, the gym session went well. I did the Smith machine. I did the free weights. I only did a little bit of leg press in terms of like my filler, but I did do some core work. And then on the cardio, we also kept it light. I just did a little bit of time on the Stairmaster. So after that, ran a couple of errands and then came home and did my stretch, did some research, and now we're ready to yap it up about some news. So, yes, let's go ahead and let's get into it. But of course, we're going to do our startup and then we can do that. Yes. All right. Our first story comes from Al Jazeera. Ugh. Iranian naval commander Ali Reza Tangsiri killed in attack, Israel says. An Israeli airstrike has killed the commander of Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or the IRGC, Navy. Israel Defense Minister says. The assassination of Ali Reza Tangsiri was carried out on Wednesday night and targeted other senior officers of the Naval Command. Israel Katz said on Thursday in a video statement. Let's see here. I mean, obviously, there's going to be more details around this, but I just want to get to like the bigger numbers as they are, are happening. In almost 1 month, at least 1,937 people have been killed, including 452 women and children. Iran's deputy health minister, Ali Jafarian, told Al Jazeera. Excuse me. In addition, at least 24,800 people have been injured, including 4,000 women and 1,621 children, Jafarian added. And obviously that is just with Iran. We're not talking about Lebanon, which has also been hit recently and obviously been going through multiple airstrikes and things of that nature. Obviously, there's a lot that is going to be slipping through the cracks when it comes to this, especially when I have situations where now I'm not really going at this 7 days a week. But I know the tit for tat between the Trump administration and the Iranian officials and whether or not are they even talking is still a thing. I feel like it's gotten like I've come to the conclusion that many people are, I don't know, whatever, that they are talking, but it's indirect. So you can understand where Iran's coming from when they're saying no. They're talking to themselves. They're not saying anything that's worth mentioning or talking about. Like, we've seen their proposal. They had like a 15-point proposal. We're not fucking with it. We have our own list of demands that we want to see met. So we'll see if they're going to come eye to eye. But also, it feels like Trump is just saying this shit to try to calm down markets. And then next thing you know, he's like, hey, I'm going to send more troops in. Oh, maybe we are going to do this or that. Maybe, there's still things that are going on. Airstrikes are still fucking happening. So it's hard to really do a blow for blow, tick for tick update because it just changes so much and you don't know what's fucking real, which is very frustrating. But something like this I felt like really worth talking about. But in the same vein, there's still more things happening from ABC News. 2 charged in connection with alleged explosive device at MacDill Air Force Base. The FBI has announced charges against a brother and sister in connection with an alleged improvised explosive device that was found near the Visitors Center at MacDill Air Force Base in Florida last week. The device was placed near the Visitors Center of MacDill Air Force Base on the evening of March 10th, but was only discovered by base personnel on March 16th. U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Florida, Gregory Kehoe, said at a press conference in Tampa on Thursday. The device could have been potentially very deadly and could have caused significant damage to people that were in the range, Kehoe said. It was flown in a specialized container via helicopter to the FBI lab in Huntsville, Alabama, where it is undergoing further analysis for possible fingerprint DNA and other forensics. Minutes after the device was placed on March 10th, a call was made to 911 stating that a bomb was on the base, Kehoe said, but the caller did not indicate where it could be found. After a search of the base, no device was immediately found, he said. Alan Zing was charged by indictment with 1 count of attempted damage of government property by fire or explosion, 1 count of unlawful making of a destructive device, and possession of an unregistered destructive device. Anne Mary Zhang was also indicted on charges alleging that she was an accessory after the fact and tampered with evidence by attempting to destroy, mutilate, and conceal a 2010 black Mercedes GLK 350. A brother and sister have now been indicted, FBI Director Kash Patel said in a post on X on Thursday. One is in custody for accessory and evidence tampering, and the primary suspect is charged with explosives offenses and is currently in China. I also believe that they are trying to reach the family, talk to the family in any kind of way. I don't know. But yeah, so I think this is in some way related to events with Iran, but I don't know. I'm kind of speculating there. But I mean, we'll see if there is going to be any kind of updates in terms of the, I guess, main suspect, either getting apprehended in some kind of way, or I don't know, turning themselves in. I believe also the mother might be in detention because of an overstayed visa situation. So I don't know if that might be an angle that might get pressed on. I don't know. Like I said, at this point, I'm definitely in the realm of speculation. Once again, even with the motive, I do not know. So let's see. But keeping it in the sphere of Iran, and also FBI and Kash Patel, NBC News. Iranian hackers publish emails allegedly stolen from Kash Patel. Pro-Iranian hackers published more than 300 emails and photos Friday from what appears to be a personal email account for FBI Director Kash Patel. In a statement, an FBI spokesman acknowledged the Iranian campaign. The FBI is aware of malicious actors targeting Director Patel's personal email information, and we have taken all necessary steps to mitigate potential risks associated with this activity. The information in question is historical in nature and involves no government information, the spokesman said. The hacking group, called Handala, indicated on its website that the leak was in retaliation after the FBI and Justice Department seized several of its websites last week, accusing the group of psychological operations and saying it was a front for Iran's Ministry of Intelligence and Security. The State Department offered a reward of up to $10 million for information on Iranian hackers threatening U.S. critical infrastructure. Earlier this month, Handala took credit for the sole significant destructive cyber attack against an American company, medical tech supplier Stryker, since the war between Iran and the U.S. and Israel began. NBC News did not forensically verify all the emails as authentic. The group published on its website several photos of Patel that do not appear to have previously been made public, according to an NBC News review, through several reverse image searches. The hacked email appears to have been sent from or to a personal Gmail account that is listed as belonging to Patel in at least one public government document. Gmail did not respond to a request for comment. Handala posted on his Telegram channel on Thursday that the FBI shouldn't have started a confrontation and conflict with us. It also said it would soon post evidence of the biggest security breach of the past decade. That Telegram channel has since been deleted. Telegram didn't respond to a request for comment. All of the emails predate Patel's work with the Trump administration, and metadata from the files indicate they were hacked before the war began. The emails Handala posted are curated and are arranged in folders last modified on May 21st, 2025. Most of the emails are dated between 2010 and 2012, and the most recent is a plane ticket receipt from 2022. In one email in the dump from 2014, when he worked in the Justice Department's National Security Division, Patel appears to have used his DOJ email to send himself a link, CCing both his FBI address at the time and his personal email. Many of the emails are personal and involve correspondence among Patel's family. Some are of Patel appearing to be on a trip to Cuba. U.S. officials told Patel in late 2024 that he had been the target of an Iranian cyber attack before he agreed to lead the FBI, and that the hackers had sought his communications. So yeah, I guess in a way this is like a weird serendipitous, I can't think of the word, whatever. It's an update in a way. I feel like we did talk about that hack in 2024, or, whenever it became available information. I think that we did cover it. But it looks like they are kind of trying to cash in on the fact that they did have his email and a tranche of things that they felt were like, oh, okay, we'll put all of this information out there and it'll look pretty menacing. Like, oh yeah, we have all this data and there's more to come. But I don't know. I really don't think this is going to make a lot of waves. I just think it's funny whenever Kash Patel kind of gets mentioned in these kind of things. I mean, to me, I kind of look at it as him being a bumblebutt. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe it was just like, we can just hack you. And maybe it is just a commentary on the fact that you have Iran versus the US. And you would think like our cybersecurity would be, ironclad. But at the end of the day, there's no such thing as a perfect offense. There's always some way to, infiltrate. And usually it's through people. Usually it's through some kind of mistake or some kind of opening that people can exploit. So, there, so it goes. Anyway, we can move away from Iran, but, sadly the news is not getting much better. Let's see. From the Associated Press. Transgender women athletes banned from female Olympic events by new IOC policy. Transgender women athletes are now excluded from women's events at the Olympics after the IOC agreed to a new eligibility policy on Thursday, which aligns with President U.S. Donald Trump's executive order on sports ahead of the 2028 Los Angeles Games. Eligibility for any female category event at the Olympic Games or any other IOC event, including individual and team sports, is now limited to biological females, the International Olympic Committee said, to be determined by a mandatory gene test once in an athlete's career. It is unclear how many, if any, transgender women are competing at an Olympic level. No woman who transitioned from being born male competed at the 2024 Paris Summer Games, though weightlifter Laurel Hubbard did at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021 without winning a medal. The eligibility policy that will apply from the LA Olympics in July of 2028 protects fairness, safety, and integrity in the female category, the IOC said. It is not retroactive and does not apply to any grassroots or recreational sports programs, said the IOC, whose Olympic charter states that access to play sport is a human right. But not when you get to the big leagues, buddy. Then it gets a little different. Then we're gonna get a little bit more keen, I guess. I don't know. We could go on and on here, and hell, we could talk about the fucking science, which I know people love saying that's what they're doing here. But essentially, you're saying, hey, we are going to line up our ideology and our view on this shit and how we're going to go about this shit with the Trump administration. Because that is the path of least resistance. And I honestly feel like that is where they've wanted to go, it seems. At least since the Paris Olympics. Yeah, even though, once again, there wasn't really a situation, people were so keen and hard up for it, or hard up for one, like with the Khalif situation. And they're like, oh, see, this is a prime example. And it's like, dude, this is actually a female that you're talking about. So yeah, I mean, really, it feels like we are just trying to, once again, make these statements, make these changes so that it lines up in the future and you have no static with Donald J. Trump. Let's see here. I want to lead a little bit further. After an executive board meeting, the IOC published a 10-page policy document that also restricts female athletes such as two-time Olympic champion runner Caster Semenya with medical conditions known as differences in sex development, or DSD. So even though something like that is a natural thing, they're like, oh, sorry, you're excluded. It's just, you're just not biologically female enough. Like, it's just so crazy to me. It does not square. It does not make sense. But they will always bring up some lady or some person and be like, see, like, this is a woman right here who says that she was mistreated and it's not fair. And she's a real winner. Trust us, okay? It's like, dude, I don't know. It is very frustrating to me. This is one of those things where I will keep railing about till I'm blue in the face. I think that the least we can do is be aware of what's happening and keep talking about it and keep pushing back against it. But yeah, there's one more story that I wanted to cover. It's a bit of an update on the TSA DHS situation. I guess you could say the political gridlock in Congress. There were two things that kind of popped off. And so I was like, all right, if we got things going on in the Senate and we got things going on in the House, that's relevant enough for me to come and actually yap about it a little bit. So yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to that. Also, I'm seeing this on the news ticker, but I haven't really clicked on it. Apparently, Tiger Woods was involved in some kind of accident, like some kind of car accident of some kind. I believe in Jupiter, Florida. So I figured that was at least worth mentioning. I don't know, I might have an update in the future episode or episodes, whatever. All right. From NPR. Speaker Johnson rejects Senate spending package as DHS shuts down, or as DHS shutdown drags on. House Speaker Mike Johnson says House Republicans will not accept a Senate passed bill to fund the majority of the Department of Homeland Security, minus ICE and Border Patrol. The Senate bill does not include additional funding for immigration and customs enforcement or Border Patrol, and it does not include any of the demands Democrats made to limit the tactics of federal immigration officers. Republicans in the House met Friday after the legislation passed and rejected the plan. This gambit was done last night. The gambit that was done last night is a joke, Johnson told reporters at the Capitol. Johnson said the House will vote instead on a stopgap spending bill to fund the entire Department of Homeland Security until May of 2022. It's worth noting, too, and I don't know if I've said this, but with the big, beautiful bill that took place last year, they already funded ICE and Border Patrol for like 3 fucking years. So they're good to go on this shit. This measure was a half measure. It was a grand compromise between both sides so that they could just get the shit running. Because essentially, Senate Democrats, like Chucky Schumer, understood that it's like, yeah, I know we are kind of doing the fig leaf thing, trying to get you guys to change your tactics, take off this, the fucking shiesties and shit. If you just, fucking don't fund this shit, then we can say we gotta win. All right, awesome, cool. And I thought, like, okay, like, I saw that in the morning. I saw that deal got more or less inked up. And I was really thinking to myself, this will probably work out. It's also worth noting, too, that Trump is keeping his eye on this shit. And he sees the airports, the lines, dragging out for hours and hours and hours. People spending 5 hours to try to get through a fucking airport because of TSA shit. Fucking crazy. He realizes that. He realizes that you got a whole war, a whole affordability issue, and you got this fucking tension at the airport. This is not a good look, especially ahead of midterms. It's not a good look. So he is also, is trying to pass this executive action that will fund the TSA, like specifically do that. So I think that that's happening over this as well. So I don't know how that's going to resolve. I imagine it will, though, so at least hopefully the TSA can get something that says, hey, you're at least going to get funded, some hit your back pay. Okay, you can come back to work. Granted, I don't know if that's going to cover them entirely so they can, still keep getting paid. I don't fucking know. Obviously, this is a logistical nightmare because people are just kind of popping off the hip, posting on True Social, and then, they actually come into work, and then you have guys like Mike Johnson saying, no, actually, I'm not going for this at all. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do I think we're actually going to get a resolution? I don't know, because who knows if they're even going to go for this fucking stopgap. And then if so, when it gets kicked up to the Senate, are they going to go for said stopgap? Who knows? Who fucking knows? We shall see. But I figured, hey, this is a definitely worthwhile update. I've definitely been seeing more and more people talking about the TSA thing. Because I mean, we are plus 40 days now on this holdout. So, it looks like, more or less people are sticking to their guns, but we are seeing some capitulation. That is something for Republicans to say, like, hey, we are going to at least say, no, we're not going to keep funding ICE at this level. But also it was like, we know we don't have to. Like, we're not under the gun to really do so. And for Democrats, I think that they just wanted the off-ramp too, so that they could say, hey, I got to get my fucking flight to Delta, But with this whole recess thing, who can say? Who can say what's to come? Anyway, that's it. That is all I have for today. That is the episode. If you'd like to help out, support the podcast, support me, your guy, your boy. Patreon.com/Isaiah News. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube, follow on TikTok, follow on Spotify, follow on Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen. Free ways to hit me up, as in, or did I said that? My bad. Leave a like, leave a cool comment. Sharing is caring. 5 stars on Spotify, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts are always appreciated. But whatever. If you don't feel like doing that, whatever. I just appreciate you tuning in. I appreciate you catching the episodes when I post them. Seeing what I have to say, seeing how my day went. I always appreciate it. But yeah, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.